Hello everyone, it is Dr. Angela Moemeka with Mark 9 Pediatrics, and this is our first episode of Storytime with me, Dr. Mo. So we're gonna just have fun here. It's nothing structured. I am going to every single month go over 3 things that I think are really helpful for families as they're really getting used to the process of teaching their kids to read, and also as kids who already know how to read are progressing. So for this month, February, our literacy theme of the month, which is the first thing, is raising eager readers. That's my biggest thing, right? So getting a library card, getting excited about getting books home, reading to your kids, even when they're little ones, when they're infants, and really making them excited about reading, which ties into the second thing that I will talk about each month, which is an early brain development fact. Do you know about the 1,000,000-word gap? So research has shown that children whose parents read 5 books a day to them, by the time they get to kindergarten, those kids have heard 1.4 million more words than kids whose parents don't read to them. So it's so critical. Keep reading to those kids. The third thing that we're going to do is go over some book recommendations. Now, this time I really just want to be a little bit more general and talk about some of the types of books that kids should be reading at different ages. And I have some examples here. So for your 0 to 2 age range, you want those really tactile and sturdy books. So things like this with a finger puppet in it. I love books like this. Very sturdy, so kids can mouth them if they want to. There are also some of these books that you can put in the water because they're plastic or the material is one that's water safe, so you can use those. As they get a little bit bigger, and even as babies, you can use books like this, a little bit bigger, still board books, but they're books that kids can be read to, and then as they learn to read and they recognize words and letters, they can start to read them very easily themselves. So I love books like this. It's 101 First Words. Now, once you have an emerging reader, so a beginner reader, let's say that. I like these types of books. These books are staged books. So you'll see that they have a stage 1, 2, 3, 4, and it helps build confidence for your beginning reader as they're learning more and more words, as they're learning how to read full sentences, and also as they're practicing to read out loud. These are great ones. And then finally, for your older readers, which are now your emerging readers, so somewhere between 6 and 8 years of age, as they're getting more excited about chapter books and reading more books that have more content to them, books that are series are great. So this is one of my son's favorites when he was in early elementary school. It's the School Day series, and this one is Mr. Sunny is Funny. They were all rhyme titles. But books like these are great for your emerging readers who are progressing towards that second stage of their education, where you're actually not just learning to read, you're reading in order to learn. So let's dig into story time and talk about the book for today. The book that I'm going to read is called Lola at the Library. It's one of my favorites for preschoolers because at that preschool age, they have the ability to follow a relatable story, and it's an easy story for them to really talk to you about things that they do in their lives that match up with what the character in the book is doing. So let's start. I always love beginning books, not just by saying what the title of the book is, so Lola at the Library, but also who the author is, Anna McQuinn, and then the illustrator, Rosalind Beardshaw. So let's begin. What is little Lola going to do at the library? Okay, Lola loves Tuesdays. On Tuesday, Lola and her mommy go to the library. Can you all see this? I'm sure the parents can see the time there. It is 6 a.m. So she's waking her mom up to go to the library at 6 a.m. Okay, the library opens at 9 o'clock, but Lola is ready to go long before that. She puts all the books she borrowed last week in her backpack. Her library card is also very important. The library is not very far away, so Lola and her mom always walk there, so they incorporate some healthy lifestyle into what they're doing each day. Lola and her mommy give back the books from last week. The librarian buzzes them through the machine. There is a special section in the library just for children. It is really cool. Nobody ever says shh. Sometimes there is singing. Lola knows all the words and the hands for twinkle, twinkle, little star. Sometimes there is story time. Lola loves that. After story time, Lola chooses her books. In the library, she can have any book she wants. Lola likes stories with bears and anything with shoes. There are so many, it takes ages to choose. Mommy has some books too. The librarian buzzes them through the machine, then stamps the date inside. Lola must bring them back in 2 weeks, but she'll probably be back much more before that. Lola and her mommy always get a snack after visiting the library. Mommy has a cappuccino and Lola has juice. Whenever Lola has been good, her mommy lets her taste the foam. Then it is time to go home again. Every night after Lola is tucked in bed, her mommy reads her a story. It is the best way to end a day. And that's the end. You all have a wonderful Sunday. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Get tucked in, have a fun time, keep reading, keep learning. See you next month.